This is Tony with Backwards Biker Magazine. Again, I had some questions come in about the rocket stoves once we launched that one video. And the specific question was, do you have any suggestions for building your own rocket stoves? You know, I'm going to show you how to do that, so hang tight. We'll talk more about that. All right, welcome back. You know, the rocket stove concept has been around for a long time. And what they are basically designed for is to give you a quick, high energy, fast burning alternative to, let's say, a campfire. It concentrates the flame under your targeted source. And it burns very quickly, very hot. There are advantages to it, and I just mentioned a couple of them. It's hot and it's quick, but the disadvantage is that number one, they're often cumbersome, but the biggest down is the fact that they are very inefficient. Unless you spend, you know, quite a bit of money to get one that has a gasifier built into it, you know, and I'll get into that later. But I'm going to show you a quick way to do this thing here, and we'll be getting close-up shots, but I just want to get on with this here and let you know what the components are of what I'm going to be using for this rocket stove that I'm going to build. I'm starting out with a coffee can. Now this isn't a regular size coffee can. This happened to come from Sam's Club. My wife purchases this coffee, and it's quite a bit taller than the normal one. Let me grab a tape measure here real quick and tell you this particular can is 9 inches tall, and it is normal, you know, size, about 6 inches across. So it's 9 by 6 can versus the shorter ones that are like 7 inches. So you get a couple extra inches that helps with the chimney and the burn. That is going to be the main body of the rocket stove. And then on the inside is going to have an elbow that's going to get us to the outside, and this will be the riser for the rocket stove here. You got those two pieces, and then you also have to have some sheet metal for the top to be able to close this in. And although it's not absolutely necessary, I do recommend an insulation of some type. Some guys use a special cement or lava rock or just all kinds of different things. What I like to use is ceramic insulation. And the reason I use this is because I learned the benefits of using ceramic when I was building barbecue pits and insulating the double-walled firebox. It has a high temperature rating. And it'll keep you from burning your hands and holds the heat in. I like that. You also need to have some, this is like, it's called a multi-purpose, some people call it aluminum tape, but it's used by HVAC people to seal ductwork. You know, it's not flame proof, but it is heat resistant, and that's all you'll need for this to be able to do some joints. Other materials that you're going to have, some sheet metal screws. You're going to have a few tools. I'm going to use a cordless drill with a couple different drill bit sizes. You don't have to have a step drill, but it will help when you start cutting out the holes for this. You also need to have some sheet metal shears. You need to have some safety glasses when you're dealing with this stuff. This ceramic insulation is really bad. You need to have a mask also. I don't have it down here, but I'll grab one. And to make it easier for me, I'm going to break out the old Dremel tool also. So those are the things that I'll be using. And if I grab something else along the way, I'll let you know. So I'm going to get out of the shot right now and get a close-up view so you can start watching me do this.
this morning and I found you were gone. Yes, I woke up this morning and I found she was gone. That was when I realized I must be sitting there all alone. I didn't know she was leaving. That was the last thing on my mind. I didn't know she was leaving. That was the last thing on my mind. She left from here in such a hurry. She must have left from here flying. She called a 747 saying Greyhound runs too slow. She called a 747 Greyhound runs too slow. There ain't no tracks up in the air. I'm wondering where did my baby go? I gotta find her. Don't know what you're doing, mama. You might as well forget it. Get on down, get on down, get on down, get on down. Travel on, baby, a little girl don't look back. You don't know what you're doing, child, you might as well forget it. It's goodbye, pretty baby. You don't want me no more. You know I wanna stay, but I just think I better go get on down, down to the real nitty gritty. You don't know what you're doing, child, you might as well forget it. Early in the morning, oh, I ride. You laying and rolling your backside eyes. Get on down, down to the real nitty gritty. You don't know what you do, baby. You might as well get it, get it, get it, Johnny.
Alright guys, I'm kind of taking time here to explain to you something about this ceramic installation, because it's very important that if you decide to go with this, you really want to take precautions to keep any of this glass from getting on your skin, in your face, in your eyes especially, or in your throat. You know, I wear pretty tight glasses. You know, these are reading glasses. But on top of that, I've got some safety glasses that I'm going to put on these. And before I even open the bag, and you can see I've got gloves on my hand. Now in this package, it does happen to come with a pair of nitrile gloves, and it comes with an X-Acto knife in there. And this is 1 inch by 12 inch by 24 inch. So there's going to be some of it that actually is sticking out above the can. And I will use that excess off the top to line the bottom as well. So this is going to have a ceramic insulation all the way around it, and it keeps it from the heat migrating, your heat loss, and it also keeps you from burning your hands as readily. You know, because sometimes you might want to grab this can. Better stoves, commercial stoves that are out there, like the Silver Fire rocket stove, they've got handles. I mean, that's really the premium rocket stove that's out there. Silverfire.us if you want to go out and see it. But this glass insulation is some of the best that's out there, and I've told you before, I've used it in the past for different projects, so that's why I'm using it for this one. But just if you decide to do this, take precautions with your lungs, with your eyes, your face, and your hands, because you'll be itching yourself to death with this stuff. So I'm gonna get ready to go. We'll get back down in the shot and you can see me do it.
I must be sitting there all alone. I didn't know she was leaving. That was the last thing on my mind. I didn't know she was leaving. That was the last thing on my mind. She left from here in such a hurry. She must have left from here flying. She called a 747 saying Greyhound runs too slow. She called a 747 Greyhound runs too slow. And ain't no tracks up in the air. I'm wondering where did my baby go? I gotta find her. I didn't know she was leaving. That was the last thing on my mind. I didn't know she was leaving. That was the last thing on my mind. She left from here in such a hurry. She must have left from here flying. She called the 747 saying Greyhound runs too slow. She called a 747 Greyhound runs too slow. There ain't no tracks up in the air. I'm wondering where did my baby go? Little girl, don't look back. You don't know what you're doing. Child, you might as well forget.
Alright guys, well there you have it. That's just your simple rocket stove. Maybe not so simple because of all the, the ceramic insulation I used and the different features I did. But I wanted you to be able to see how this actually works, and then we'll talk more about it. But I built this ramp, that just fits like this, that can hold your wood in there, and that's where I will initially do that. So what I'll probably do is just do it like this. That way I can control it better. That's close. There you go. Just stick that on that ramp like that. Stick this in here. Right. Now the key to really being successful with a rocket stove is that you use small fuel, and it should be dry. Dry biofuel, okay? And never ever get it any bigger than your pinky. Leave it the size of your pinky. Now that's going pretty good there, so we'll just stick that in there a little bit. Add a little bit more. Alright, and then the grate that I have, I'm using this. This is from Hellfire Bushcraft. This actually came in a battle box, subscription box that we reviewed. Pretty neat little set of grates. I love these things. But that's all we're going to use. I'm going to stick that up there. We're going to let that burn a little bit more. Do its thing. A little more fuel in there. Alright. See, it's going good. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put in a pint of water in this MSR pot. Alright. You see that? I'm going to have to turn on the exhaust in here. But it's burning good. You just push your wood up in there as it is burning. So, who would benefit for something like this? Well, first of all, for our biker brothers who are out there, this is not a bad option for a small stove that would fit in a saddlebag if you're going to go out and set up a base camp or whatever. But you got to keep in mind, it's not made to cook chilies or stews, of any sort, because of the simple fact you got to stand here and you got to babysit it for long-term use. But if you're wanting a quick cup of coffee, or you want to do a quick breakfast in the morning when you're camping, then this is pretty much way to go. You see a lot of the carbon on my pot is being burned off right now, but you can see how this thing is really roaring. You see that? It's doing its thing like it's supposed to. And it might benefit if I were to build a grate specifically for this, to lift this up a little bit, to give it more oxygen. Because we've got it down to about 3/8 of an inch, and as you can see, as soon as we put that on there, what happens? So it's doing its thing. Just keep pushing the fuel in. But I'm going to have to turn the exhaust on in my shop in here, because of all this smoke that's happening. My wife's going to accuse me of smoking cigars in here if I'm not careful. So, that's it. It's an easy build for you. That took me less than an hour. I could have done it just with a coffee can and, a bean can of different sizes. You don't have to do what I did. But, I mean, you can see how hot it is. Look, Now out front, because of this right here, it's a little warm, but all around it, it's hardly hot at all. I mean, I could pick it up if I wanted to. That's because of that ceramic insulation. So, you know, I mean, if you're going to want that type of an option, you're going to have to spend a little money. But that's all pretty good there. And so, I mean, there you go. You know, it's gonna, some of that smoke is burning off impurities that was in the stovepipe that I used. Also this high heat tape that I used. It's going to be burning off on the edges because there is adhesive on there. Just keep pushing that in. That's all you got to do. Just be patient with it, and it'll work well for you. Real simple. This ramp is important. Well, there you have it. A little rocket stove right there for emergency purposes. You know, you wouldn't take this out, you know, in a backpack. I guess you could, but I mean, why would you want to when there's a lot better options? But there you go, man. Listen, we appreciate you watching all of our videos. And if you like this one, hit that subscribe button. We'll enter you into our monthly giveaways, and hopefully we'll see you again. Till next time, you ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out there.